Yeah! Here we are back at it. Just realized I hadn't done one of these in a month. I think a month to the date. I had a Equitan and Proscriptor from REISSUE on April 10th. Here we are on May 10th. So thanks for those of you that are already here. John Lincoln, Aaron, Triple T, Human Brisket. Let everybody know, share this stuff. Tell them to come hang out with us live. It's going to be a badass show. Doing something a little different, I guess. Not too different. We're going to be talking a lot of music and stuff, but a lot of skating as well. So, yeah, again, thanks for hanging out. You notice I have maybe a Sound Exchange shirt. So everybody knows Sound Exchange is a big supporter of the show. If you watch the show, Sound Exchange in Houston, you can get one of these at the store on Milby. But you can also, if you're not in Houston, you could check them out at www.soundexchangehouston.com and get you a badass Sound Exchange t-shirt. And there it is. There's the banner. So anyhow, anybody checking this show out for the first time, appreciate you coming in, checking it out. If you're here live, if you're here watching the replay, it's cool. Maybe you'll dig it. Maybe you'll check out some of the other stuff. There's a ton of stuff on the channel. So anyhow, again, thanks everybody. I'm going to keep this intro short. I've got another video to play before I bring our esteemed guest out today. So everybody check out this cool video. Where'd it go? Let me find it. Here we go.
That was hot for sure. Here goes John Gibson. He's from Texas. He's a really aggressive skater. And he'll show you how aggressive he is. And that's what the judges really like. And this guy knows how to do it.
Bionic.
Texas tall.
John Gibson, can I say he put Texas on the map? I mean, he's one of my favorite skaters, and I still think should have been in the Hall of Fame, one of the first guys in. Alan Gelfand invented the ollie, but John Gibson perfected the ollie. I really believe that, and he brought such a rad technique to so many things, and he had such a rad style.
He was already legendary before he ever made it to California.
John Tex Gibson, one of the most stylish skateboarders on the planet and one of my favorites out of Texas.
Skated for Castor, skated for Zorlac, skated for Alva. He had the best frontside airs, the best frontside ollies, best backside ollies, best fucking frontside hand plants, tuck knee, best Andrex, best inverts, best one-footed inverts, best everything.
The gingerbread kid from Pasadena, are you kidding? That dude is Texas with a capital T. John Gibson, badass motherfucker.
He's just one of the best, stylish, raddest dudes in skateboarding.
I mean, he did boneless Andrex. Like, I'm still fascinated that ever happened back then. Anyone out there doing bone Drex these days? No, because it's hard.
Hell yeah. It's a cool ass video I found on the YouTubes. So won't keep them waiting any longer. So everybody, please welcome to the show. All the way from Houston, Texas, right down the road from me, Mr. John Gibson. Sir, thank you. Thank you for being on the show, first of all.
Yeah.
What do you think of that video?
I thought it was pretty cool. The guys at Six Stars put that together. There's guys that had some footage on there that I never seen. There's a little bit of the Upland Gold Cup. I saw it. I was really stoked to see that. That was cool. I'd never seen it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like I said, when I was doing, prepping for the show or whatever, it was cool to come across that was available. When was that? I know you were recently inducted into the Skateboard Hall of Fame. I know with 2020 and COVID and all that, when was the actual induction itself? And talk a little bit about that, about how that, I guess, that process and that day and everything.
Yeah, so.
Uh-oh. Your audio, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Am I the only one that can't hear him? Can't hear you. I can't hear you. I think you muted yourself. You might have muted yourself. I think, yeah. You muted. You. I can't hear you. Huh? I wonder what happened. Flashback, yeah, with Aaron. That's all right. It's technology. What do you? Okay, yeah, maybe he'll log back on and log back off. It happens. What are you gonna do? So, again, hey, tell people to come hang out, check out the show. He should be back here shortly, probably logged off. Yeah. So. Again, haven't done one of these in exactly a month, so it's cool to be doing them. I've been doing a lot of other shit, band stuff and work stuff and you name it. So okay, thanks Kyle. But yeah, usually if you log on, log back off, it usually fixes everything. So yeah, video sounds good. I just couldn't hear him. We tested it out earlier and it sounded fine. So I noticed he had muted it, probably on his end. It's all right. No big deal about about these things. They happen. What are you gonna do? It doesn't even bother me anymore. I used to freak out. Oh fuck, whatever. What are you gonna do? So yeah. In the meantime, we'll wait for him to come back. Really don't have anything really scheduled coming up after this. Okay, I see him. Let's see if the audio works. Okay, there you go. I can barely hear you. I don't know if you have. Do you have your earpod, your earbuds in or whatever? So we'll get it right.
You hear me better now?
I do. Actually, I hear you great.
Okay. Yeah, let me move this on in here a little better. Yeah, I said the browser closed me down.
Oh wow.
Lost connection to the microphone, and then told me to get closer to the router. So
now I can hear you perfectly now.
All right, good.
Awesome. All right, so back at it. So that video, I guess, talk a little bit about what the process is to getting inducted into the Skateboard Hall of Fame and the whole process.
Yeah, so it was 2020, like I was saying, and everyone was down on lockdown, and they did the announcement on through social media and everything. And Mark Waters was one of the guys main guys there that really pushed, really built up the Hall of Fame to where it is today. And sure enough, right after, you know, the big announcement, he passed away at COVID. So they kind of put a damper on everything. So we continued through lockdown for a while, and then they do the announcement for 2021, right? And then they're gonna have one big 2 years in one big party.
Yeah.
And so that was back in November of 21, and it was at band's headquarters in Costa Mesa. It was awesome. It was a good party. It was really fun. Everybody was there.
So how did they let you know? Like, I guess they called you, or?
Well, yeah. Well, first I was at SkaterCon in Phoenix that year, right before COVID hit. We were there, you know, at the skateboard convention, and Mark Waters was there, and he came up and told me, he's like, "Hey, man, you're in." I'm like, "No," because I'd been a nominee for about, I don't know, 6-7 years, I guess.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're in this year," and I'm like, "All right, no way." And we go home, COVID hits, lockdown, so then they do the announcement that March, and they did it over social media. And that was it. It was like a big, hey, in my underwear, and it's just sitting there. Yeah, you know, it's kind of lame like that. And then Mark Waters passed away shortly after that of COVID, and then slowly getting momentum, and California opened back up, and so they did 2 years, 2021 and 2020, together in November. It was nice. It was killer. I took my kids. We had a really good time.
That's awesome, man. Here's the actual. I guess this is what they presented you.
Yeah, that's it. I've got it here.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, where do you have that displayed anywhere, or is it in the closet somewhere?
I hang my hat on it, I guess you could say that. I'll pull it down here. I got to go in the next room, though. Want to check it out?
Yeah, of course, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's a cool little trophy there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with it too, because I've already broke it twice.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah, and see the wheels kind of fall off. They're pretty cool. This is like a wheel stick.
Uh-oh.
Again.
Is it heavy? It looks heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy, and these wheels is real brittle right here.
Man.
They come off.
Yeah.
And got another pretty cool story too about this.
Please share.
You see it?
You know, I said, yeah, please share. It's the cool story.
Yeah, so this trophy right here is they made a replica of this, and the guys are building a museum, a Texas Surf Museum in Galveston, and they had to pay the Hall of Fame to get a replica of that, so they're going to display it when the grand opening will.
Oh, nice.
Showing up really shortly here in Galveston. So that's pretty cool. Bought a replica.
Yeah, that's cool.
They got a state on there. This is a replica. It's not the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really cool, man. I'm really honored about that. And the guys are really cool. And heck, I even used to surf, you know?
Yeah, I saw. I was looking through some of the names. I think Stropel, I think, was the same year as you, and I can't remember who else. But yeah, there was a long list because it was the 2 years.
Like my era was like 80 to 85, or basically the 80s.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I was 2020 for that, and Mike Smith was too. And then in 2021, it was Billy Rupp and Eric Grisham. So that was just us four for the 80s. So,
well, but I mean that's cool, man. Because growing up, you know, in Texas, and we kind of touched on it briefly earlier when we were chatting about how, I mean, I really had no idea. I mean, that how, I guess, big skating was in Houston as far as back as like the 70s and all the skate parks and all that. So let's go back, I guess. Let's go back, way back. When was, do you remember the first time you got on a board and what kind of board it was?
Well, let's see what kind of board it was. It was like a Bigfoot, I don't know, kind of a cheap one. In the garage, everybody in the neighborhood had skateboards because urethane had just came out and skateboarding was just taking over the country and everything. And then everybody kind of faded out, went back to school, and I went in the garage and picked that board up because I was like the youngest as a kid. And I got out and jumped on one, and that was it. I was hooked. Me and the neighborhood kids, we stuck with it. We stuck with it. Really skated the streets. We found some ditches local by us, behind the Sizzler, and it was that was it, man. We never got off of it.
And I think you mentioned, I think there was so you started in the streets and in the ditches and all that, and eventually there was some a couple of pretty big skate parks in the Houston area, correct?
Yes, that is correct. It was the first one in Pasadena, the one that I went to, was Skaters. Now, it was like a total white trash park, man. It had big cracks in it. They just dumped cement and pushed it up. Man, but we still skated it all the time. And then all of a sudden, Gulf Coast Skate Park opened up over off Old Galveston Road.
Yeah.
That park was great. It was on top of a hill, and it just broke off in about 7 runs. You know, a slalom run, a giant snake run, a medium snake run, spillway, and a half pipe. It was perfect. It was all cement, too. Loved that place. It was still wish it was around. And then on the other side of town, you know, you had the Texas Pipeline over there on the west side. You had Skateboard City and Spring Branch and Solid Surf up north. Then we had the Fiberglass Park. First it started outdoors by the Memorial City Mall. Then they moved it indoor, and then they broke it apart, and pieces went all over the country.
Yeah, like I said, I'm doing, like, just preparing for the show. I was like, wow, I had no idea. Like, way back then, like, I mean, I first came into, knowing about skating when I was in middle school, and this is like, mid 80s, and I would see people in school skating and whatnot, but I always thought everybody, just being ignorant, you always think like California, whenever you think of skateboarding, but Houston has a pretty rich culture in skating and since 70s or whatnot, so that's pretty cool to know. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people may or may not know that, but
yeah, not only did we have like 5 skate parks around the city back then, also the ditches. The great, we had some really, really good ditches, the Meat Grinder, and there was another ditch called Pipeline over on Braeswood, and then Easy 7, and ditches out in Pasadena, all over, man. I mean, people still today, still ripping them up.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, you said you got into it when it was like it was a brand new thing. Was there any? Was there any magazines, skate magazines, way back then?
No, the Skateboarder magazine hadn't quite come out yet, but we were skating, we're getting into it, we're finding ditches, we're just kind of doing it all by feel, we're just feeling it out. And then the magazine came out. We were just blown away, the photos were so good, and the guys out in California were just tearing it up. And man, that was it, man. All of a sudden you could read between the lines. There's the guys doing the handstands, and then there's the guys skating the pools and the ditches. And you kind of go which way you want to go. We went for the grind.
Here's a question from somebody in the chat. Did you ever hang out with the Texas Pool Sharks?
Oh, I was a member. I was on that forum in the early days. Yeah, Ronnie Ripper. I know some of the Pool Sharks.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, I guess something I guess just, somebody just looking from the outside, you always hear about a skater turning pro and And you know, me myself included, never knew what that meant. You know, when you think of pro, everybody else thinks of like pro athlete or whatever. Do you so what actually, what does it mean to turn pro as a skater? Like what you know, how does that happen, or is it just being sponsored by somebody, or how does that work?
Well, when I turned pro, the way I was brought, the way it was back then is when you compete for money. When you skate in a contest and you win some money or you get paid, that's when you're considered pro. So it's like you're entering the contest, and then when you want to make that next leap into the pro contest where you're skating for cash, once you do that, you're pro. That's it.
Do you remember
then you want to go back, you can't go back.
Yeah. Do you remember? So once you win money, you're
Or you know,
you're
you
pro.
start doing demos or anything, getting paid, and you know, get your board out or get your signature model.
Yeah. Do you remember how much you made the first time you won some money?
Wasn't very much, I know that. I think the first place was like $200.
How early on was that?
That was like back in, I'd say 82 or 83.
Oh wow.
That's when skating was making the big transformation. The superstars in the 70s had just totally crashed then and came back up to the underground with the ramps around 83, 84. The zorlac was coming up out of the zorlac had been, you know, basically here in Texas, we kind of really never quit what we were doing. Always skating around, always skating the ditches, always had backyard ramps. We didn't have the killer skate parks like they did in California, but, you know, they started tearing them all down in 1980 and 81, and then that was the demise. That's when they did the full shift. The changing of the guard. Yeah, I was going to be like up there with the 70s, you know. I was getting ready to turn pro. I was already skating the amateur, and then I was like back home in Pasadena, back home in Texas, you know, they're not flying me out to California anymore. Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. So how old were you when you, I guess, you know, started taking it like seriously, like maybe turning pro or whatnot?
Well, you know, I first got sponsored by Chris Stropel, by Caster. The Caster was the board, surfboard company and skateboard company. And I was skating, matter of fact, I was skating for Zorlac at the time. Jeff Newton was just making boards out of his garage. This is like 1978. So I was probably like 13, I guess. But this
right on cue. Look who just commented. I don't know if you can see that. As soon as you said his name, he commented, Jeff Newton.
Oh, is he on there?
Yeah.
All right, what's up? Yeah, you know, and then he saw me skating out in Oklahoma, and we'd gone up there with Zorlac. We'd skating the Oklahoma State Championships at their skate park. We were having a blast and everything, and Newton just scooped me up. And then, so that next summer, I was still 13, and it was like 1979. They flew me out to California, and that was the beginning. It was the Del Mar Tester in 1970, the summer of 79.
Would this be around that era?
Yeah, well, that was the next year, 1980. That was because I went out through the first year of 79. I skated like 2 contests, and then went back, did the whole year at school, and the last day of school, boom, I went back out to California, and that's the Gold Cup series, where they had 5 contests, you know, all summer, and went into fall too.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned like being in Oklahoma, being in California. How I guess I don't know exactly what your age was at that time, but you couldn't have been that old at the time to be able to be traveling around all over the place like that.
I was like 13 the first time I went out to California. First time I flew. Yeah, that was what you considered sponsored amateur. You know, they pay for your flight, pay for your entry fee, put you up, but, not competing for money. It's like the semi-pro, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, it just blows my mind that you at such a young age, you're just going all over the place. Here's another one.
It was a trip because Ryan's in Oklahoma, and Chris is like, yeah, okay, we're going to fly you out next summer. So then I go back home to Houston. I tell my mom, tell everybody, I'm going to California next summer. I'm still going to be 13 then. No, I guess I turned 14 November. Yeah, so I turned 14. I kept telling my mom all year during school, going to California, I'm going to California. And all of a sudden they stopped believing me. They didn't believe nothing. Oh, that's so good, that's so good. And then sure enough, the last day of school, phone rang, I answered it. It was Stropo. He goes, you leave 8 o'clock in the morning, write this down. I'm like, writing it down. My mom comes home from work. I'm like, we got to get up at 6 in the morning. You're taking me to the airport.
Oh, wow.
So, that's so nice, son. That's great. That's great. And she played along like that the whole time. I woke her up, made her get in the car. She didn't even get dressed. She had a robe on, hair in her curlers, drove me all the way to the airport. She was going to let me get my heart broken, I learned the hard way. She did not think I was going to get on a plane or anything. So we get there at the ticket counter. I'm like, got a ticket for John Gibson? And he just like, type it up, slapped it on the counter. My mom goes, stop it. Wait a minute. You're not going to California by yourself. I don't even know these people. Where are you staying? What? No way you can go out there. 15, 14, I guess, 13 or 14.
Wow.
I know. She put a stop to it. Had to go to the payphone, get Stropo, wake him up. Then they had to get Stropo's mom on there. She talked to his mom. Then Bill Castor, the bigwig, he got on there and he had to make a promise to my mom that I would always come back to go to school, finish school.
Wow.
And then she let me go.
That's amazing.
I know. Most parents would not let their kids go.
No, of course not.
Stay in the mansion and something big fruit.
That's fucking amazing, man. Yeah, I can only hell. My parents wouldn't let me go to shows.
Yeah, she could have stopped it, man. Everything would be different.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we're all glad, that you were able to go, and you yourself were glad you were able to go. That was kind of what changed everything right there, right?
Oh yeah, I went out there, and then I was thrown in with the best in the world, skating with them, hanging out. They all become my friends, and then it just went on. I went on every summer for the next 4 years.
Wow.
Until skating pretty much died. And then we come back home, and that's when Texas was still pretty rocking, But in California, they were tearing down the park. They tore down Del Mar, Upland, all the good stuff that you worship in the magazines your whole life.
Wow.
You can't believe tearing them down. But we came up through the underground, Music started changing with punk rock. We were always little metal kids,
Yeah.
I got 2 older brothers. They're all metalheads. So,
somebody asked something. I was going to ask you earlier, since we're talking about music. Was there any specific bands or songs that you'd like to skate to back then?
Oh, anything hard. We would love that early AC/DC and Black Sabbath. And,
oh yeah.
What we would call the regulars. Pretty much.
Yeah.
What anybody else did. And then we got the new wave was coming in, punk rock, and we were digging that groove, and so was Devo and stuff. It's like something weird, something different, something like ours. So
yeah.
Kind of transferred into that, and then the metal was changing. It all kind of crossed over, and then here we are today.
40 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I thought it was funny. I remember I was watching something that you actually left Pasadena, Texas, to Pasadena, California, right?
That is correct. Yeah. If you look at that, the second Thrasher, the second one that ever came out, got a on the cover is Chris Stropel grinding the pool in Pasadena, California. And if you open it up, I'm inside skating the pool. That same one in Pasadena, California, and I'd flown out from Pasadena, Texas. So, yeah, pretty cool. Everybody always got a good kick out of that.
It's like every town you knew about was fucking Pasadena at that age. That's funny. So you mentioned Castor was the first kind of company, I guess, that you skated for.
Yeah.
I know we kind of briefly touched about it. How do you remember how that happened? Can you talk a little bit about how, that transpired, going from, being John in Pasadena to, skating, and how did they find out about you? I guess I should say.
What, about me?
Yeah, I mean, they were from California, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Chris Stropel was one of the best top skateboarders in the world in 1978 and 77. So all those guys, and we have the 5 skate parks here in the 70s, skating is thriving. It's going off. I mean, everybody there making big money. And then, so they're touring. They tour the country.
Oh, okay.
And all the skate parks. And that's where I was skating at one when they came up and touring. And then it's like I just learned ollie air. They just came out in the magazine. I was like one of the first ones to learn them. And Stropel saw me doing them. He's like, dude, you're riding for Castor right now. Take me to I'm like, let's do it. Take me.
Here's another photo, I think, from that era. Pretty early on. Yeah, you look like you're about 13 in this photo.
I look like Tommy Lee, baby. Boy, David. Is that me? I don't know if that's me. That's Texas Pipeline, though. I know that for sure.
I thought that was, I took that from you.
That looks like Tommy Hormel. He's a buddy of mine, He was skating on the team there. He's still ripping it up, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I found this because it mentioned Texas Pipeline, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me.
He was on the team there. He was a team member. Park team.
Yeah, that's wild. Texas Pipeline. I know. I was also seeing they had like there was like memberships and all that. People still have their membership cards from like '77 or whatever.
Yeah, and it was called Texas Pipeline because they were building a big pipe, the replica, upland pipeline out there. And they had the big pipe, skeleton wood, no cement yet. They never finished it. They only finished half of the bowl outside of it, the grinder bowl.
Oh, this is the one I meant to show.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was in that's the Colton Gold Cup in 1980. That's the one. They built that pool. It was only open for people to skate like 1 week before the contest, so no one was really a local in it. And they got to, everyone pretty much got even practice in it. No one had been skating it for years and like that, and some people only skated it for 2 days. Because that happened a lot in the contest. So that was a pretty good one, man. It was pretty nice because it was my last night in California. I went back before school started. Skating good enough to take first place in the sponsored end there. And that was my first picture in the magazine.
See
that board? That board I'm riding there. That's it's a IPS Tom Inouye's pool service board with the with trackers and gyros. Like the night before that, I left my board outside the hotel and someone stole it. And so I was skating like the one just like Wally was, Tom. And so I had to ride his board in the finals there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mine got ripped.
Wow.
I was too nervous. I left it outside the hotel. I was unlocking the hotel and left it sitting out there. And sure enough.
So what were those events like back then? I mean, that's way early on. I mean, was there massive crowds? Were they wild? I mean, what was it like there?
Yeah, it was good crowds. They were starting to get rowdy in like 1980 because music was changing, punk rock was coming in.
Yeah.
And 79, it was even bigger and stuff. A lot of surf crowd, and it was just different. It was just kind of different, but it was thriving, pumping, big time. I mean, shoot, skating was everywhere.
We have a question here from Eddie. Did he ever skate with Karma Toshiv, Tom Knox, or Jesse Paez? I guess that's how you pronounce it.
What? Let's see.
Did you ever skate with
No, I don't think I skated with him.
Jesse Paez? Paez? Is that how you pronounce that?
I can't read it. So small.
Okay, well, yeah.
I have to pick it up.
Yeah.
No. Did he spell those right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh man, here's another. This is another. I mean, man, like I told you, there's so many awesome photos that I'm glad are still around from way back. Here's another one that I was like, here's another one looks like from about that early on, those early days. Where's this at?
That's some ramp in Pasadena. So when you can tell how they just slapped all the wood there together.
yeah.
At the bottom of a driveway, you know. So
yeah,
it wasn't quite finished, but we still rode it, hit it.
Did you guys build them yourselves or?
No, not that one. Someone sent me that picture back in the MySpace days. You know,
Yeah.
we started to post pictures and stuff, and someone sent me that. Well, a minute. It was their ramp in the neighborhood. I guess I came by there and shaded it. But I know that shirt that I'm wearing, it was an alva shirt.
Oh wow.
I know. I ended up riding for them too.
Those socks take me way back too. Those
I know.
those old tube socks.
Yep.
So this was just in a neighborhood, huh, in Pasadena?
Yeah, it's just that sitting there in the neighborhood. That's how they were scattered everywhere. It was cool.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah. And the ditches, they used to, the contest, that's one thing that was really good back then in the 70s. The ditches, man, there was so many of them.
Well, I mean, Houston's pretty much a concrete jungle, right? So,
it's like in Pasadena, in front of my house, the curbs, you know, they weren't square or anything. They were round, like had a little transition on them. You could carve tools, do tail taps on them, grind. They were killer. They transition curves. I bet the new kids hate that, you know. Right there. Street.
Oh man.
They still got it too, man. I drove by my old house not that long ago. It's still there.
Speaking of stuff you still have, do you have any old decks or anything? What's the oldest thing you have that, you know, still in your possession?
No, during the pandemic, man, we started a thing, #Let It Go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I pretty much sold everything. Got rid of it. Almost everything, but I'll keep that a secret. But yeah, man, I was just like, so many people wanted it. So many people were always begging, always sending me messages and everything. And I was like, look around. It's like laying in the corner and stuff, you know. I've been lugging it around for so long. It's like, man, let someone else enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that. Like when you're.
I mean, I'm just staring at it. I mean, I don't even have it on the wall or anything. It's just like.
Yeah. I understand completely. Like, you know, like if you're in a band and, you know, it's like, I never keep anything of my band really. I just usually give everything away. It's like, you don't have anything? I was like, no, not really. You know, I don't look like 30 years down the road when I'm doing something. You know, it's like.
And, you know, like skating back then when I was sponsored, and I was getting free gear and stuff, all my buddies and all my friends, they still had to pay for their skate stuff, you know, and sometimes they would like, well, they couldn't ride anymore because the tail's completely broken off their board, you know, down to the truck. And, you know, so I'd give them an old board, you know, keep everybody skating so I'd have somebody to skate with.
Yeah, exactly.
And they used to afford to go buy a new $100 deck and wheels all the time. We were fucking pounding and stuff, burning right through that gear.
Yeah, I bet. Here's another one. Now this is what's going on here, and what was this?
That was at that. Oh no, that was in a Victoria. It was the blue ramp. You know the blue ramp with the big place? That's Jeff Newton took that on tour around Texas, and we were in Victoria. Yeah, I believe that's Victoria, Texas. It set it up, had a little contest and a demo on it, and that guy was from the college radio. There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was interviewing me, I guess. I don't know exactly.
You don't remember anything about the interview?
Yeah, Bill Daniels took that photo. I got other photos with that framing around it. And he travels around because he took photos all of that era and everything. And he covered the whole music scene too in Austin and around Texas. You know, all the punk rock that came out of it. And he was a really good photographer. He takes those photos and he drives all over the country. Probably goes all over the world and, you know, shows them. Like, you know, or he'll have a showing, you know, and it'll be like sit in a shop for about 2 weeks, and then they'll move on to the next city. Pretty successful too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's cool that there was always people with a camera capturing, you know, all the times like in music and whatnot that's going on at that time. Here, my buddy Brad. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, Brad. So we hit a little bit on music. So I wanted to, and we'll kind of just jump around, you know, just kind of want to go wherever the show takes us. But as far as music, you mentioned, you know, there was hard rock or whatever, and then the whole punk thing kind of came. How did you get introduced to punk music through skateboarding?
Yeah, pretty much so. You know, the way I got involved in music now, I have 2 older brothers. One plays guitar and one plays drums. But they're not a lot older than me, but they're, you know, substantially about 6 years older than me. Them 2 were only a year apart. You know, and they were always playing in the garage at our house. You know, playing Ted Nugent, you know, Uriah Heep, UFO, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I finally was able, or started paying attention, really, man, they just threw a bass in my hand and go, just play this A, you know. And played the Judas Priest songs, you know, the bass is pretty easy, AC/DC. And then they just stuck around, and then we got another guitar player and a singer, and we toured all around the Bay Area, you know, Clear Lake and Pasadena. We had a working band going on for a few years. In that lull when skating was like nothing was going on. I wasn't going out to California anymore. So that's what my introduction to music, and then from that, because we played cover songs pretty much, you know, 3 40-minute sets, you know.
Wow.
Crazy. But, you know, and then skating was coming up through the underground. That's when punk music was coming in. You know, that's when the crossover, the metal was beating it. And so we kind of faded out, and the band kind of stopped because I was starting to go skating again. I mean, travel and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when me and Todd, you know, we started up BARKHARD. And that was just for fun, man, because we were bored at night, you know, nothing to do.
Yeah.
No bands were playing or anything. And then once we started playing, we were like playing every show all the time, as much as we could. And then made that record, and then kind of faded away. And then we went skating. Skating was like full on then. It was like 86, 87. It was going off.
Yeah.
We didn't really have time to play.
Do you remember what were some of the first albums you bought, like, you know, as a kid?
As a kid, one of the first, you know, my brothers had record collections. I didn't have to buy anything, really. And I remember they had Ramones, Rocket to Russia in there, and what else? They have Alice Cooper. I thought that was really cool. And the Ramones record really stood out for me. And then I had some friends that worked at Texas Tapes and Records. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, no way, look what we got. They got like a Flipper album there, and Dead Kennedys, and what else would they have? I don't know, 999, stuff like that. And he would always get the promo copies, because nobody up there wanted to listen to that stuff. You know, they would get throw it all in the trash. And we started listening to it, and it just kind of snowballed from there. Then Devo came out, we were hooked.
Yeah. Now, do you remember like do you remember what the first like punk show, underground show you attended?
Well, what I consider, it was really my first concert, because I mean, I could have went to concerts and everything, but I really didn't go. First of all, my mom didn't want me to go because
You were too busy flying to California to go to concerts, man.
Yeah, but she wanted me to go there, but she knows everybody's smoking weed. Little did she know that California was the capital of weed. You know, my brothers were always coming home stoned and all that, and she was kind of frowned upon it, and tried to keep me from it. But I didn't really want to go, because I was always going shady. Until one time, you know, punk was starting to come in, and I remember what I considered my first big show. It was the Knack and the Ramones opened up at U of H.
Wow!
It was my first big concert. And it's
What year was that?
U of H. I guess it was the Cullen Theater there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was off the hook though, man. The Knack, because my Sharona, like in '79, was like, that was the shit.
So the Ramones opened up for the Knack?
Yeah, I believe that Ramones opened up. I think so, man. I might have it backwards, but it was them too. I know for sure. And I remember I got a Ramones shirt.
That's wild. What about the when did you, I guess, discover the Houston like underground scene, like local bands? And do you remember who were some of the first local bands you discovered there?
Oh yeah, well, we discovered the Island. You know, it was a little crummy, it was a little rundown club, you know, in downtown Houston. And I'd always ask my brother about it, and they called it Rock Island, I guess, back then. Well, he would, and he would always say, you know, oh, weirdos go there and all that. And then we would find out, you know, because one of our friends was a little bit older. He was old enough to drink and to get into clubs and stuff. He was only 18 then. We were still not old enough. And then he was going around, and he'd find, he goes, yeah, this band's playing here. And then zines would be around. We would read about them in the Skateboard magazine. And these bands would be coming through there and playing. And we would try to sneak in or just hang out front until, you know, and then like DRI was coming up through there. You know, and they were like our age too. They couldn't get in, but then they started playing to nobody, just us, you know, skaters.
Wow.
Then they made that record, man. That 45 with 22 songs on it.
Hell yeah, that's one of my favorite records ever.
How do you get 22 songs on a 7-inch?
22 songs, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
there were a bunch of local bands coming up. You know, then the Big Boy, we heard about the Big Boys, that there was this band in Austin that skateboarded. And we were all stoked. When they came here, we all met. And that was history right there, man. We went on, they made us, that's what was really inspired us to start BARKHARD. Because in between every song, they're like, go start a band. What are you doing here?
That's awesome.
I remember they were like playing Wild Thing, and they like pulled us up on the stage, put the instruments on us. We didn't even know how to play then. We're like trying to like pointing to hit the fingers. We're like totally concentrating, doing it, and look up, and they're all out there dancing with everybody. That was really cool, man. It really stoked us out.
Yeah, well, you were probably at this show then. I came across this flyer with Big Boy and DRI when they were called Us DRI. So this had to be like 82, I'm guessing.
Oh, really? Let me see.
It's October 30th.
Wow. That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, so let me go through some of those flyers. I see if you remember or remember attending. Here's another one that Minor Threat at the Island.
Yeah, I saw that. I was there at that show. In the Minos.
And who was Mamas and Dadas?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Hey, you know, a lot of times people would made up the opening act because there wasn't one. They were
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we did it. You know, fucking.
Yeah. So
yeah,
what
that
was
a great show, man. That was a really good show. You know, that Out of Step, the EP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Came out. Remember they had a box of them there sitting there, and I wanted to grab them so bad. We could afford to buy one. Even though they were dirt cheap, because they sell them super cheap, you know.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Man,
So
but that show was really good. I saw Black Flag there. It was like when Henry Rollins first joined.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The Misfits go to hell out of it, son.
Misfits played in Houston? I had no idea.
They played at the Island, yeah. They
Wow.
cut a guy's head open with his bass. Fucking a big old bat wing with a skull on it. Just crushed some guy's skull. He's all busted, bleeding, loving it. Yeah, we were scared shitless, man. We almost turned around and left. They were all dressed up, and just a wall of noise, of static, man. They were like, you know, evil superheroes or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every video I've ever seen of them usually sounds like crap, but you know, I know they weren't.
Just Robo fucking keeping a beat. They just.
Yeah. They weren't the greatest. Here's another one. This one was at I guess at U of H. Dead Kennedys.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Rock Against Reagan?
I
think the Dead Kennedys played that or not, but that's
Dead Kennedys, Really Red, MDC, Free Money.
Yeah,
I think Free Money was like.
That might have been Rock Against Reagan, because all those bands went on tour all around protesting Reagan.
Yeah. Free Money, was that Verbal Abuse before Verbal Abuse was Verbal Abuse?
What's the name of it again?
Free Money? Because I know that's a Verbal Abuse song. I wonder if they were called Free Money before they were called Verbal Abuse.
Money. Oh man, I know that name. I forget.
Free Money.
The backstory.
Okay. I thought maybe that was Verbal Abuse because it says NBC. Yeah, may have been.
Free Money. He was I'm thinking of Tommy Guerrero's band, but his was Free Beer.
Free beer.
Yeah, that's how you get people to the show. Pass out flyers, wrote down on it.
You're right. One of my bands has done that before, and it was like, you know, it was a wild show. Usually, you know, people getting wasted and just having a good time, you know, because they don't have to buy beer. So, all right. So, BARKHARD started in what, 83, 84?
Yeah, probably around 83, because our drummer, he was living with his girlfriend. She lived within throwing a rock distance of Easy 7. So we kind of hung out there one summer, and he had this little drum kit. I swear it was like a toy drum kit, but he could play the heck out of it. And so I was already playing bass with my brothers, you know. And then we had Joe, who was a skater friend of ours. He wanted to play guitar, but he couldn't hold a bar chord that good, you know. I could kind of hold one and sustain, so we switched, and he started playing bass, and that's what made me play guitar, BARKHARD, because I was supposed to be the bass player. You know, and that's kind of like a nickname that kind of followed us, Bar Chord, you know, because that's all we could really play in the beginning. It's all bar chords, you know, solos and stuff. That's why we Is that what the name came? Is that how the name came about? No, the BARKHARD is from skating. It's for grinding trucks.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it kind of makes it's like bar chord almost sounds like BARKHARD.
It's like a musician's joke towards us, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, Bar Chord.
Well,
No, guitar players.
And so the lineup, we said it was 83, and then you ended up recording the. Did you guys do a demo before you recorded the album?
No, this is where we made a big mistake, I think, in the whole BARKHARD thing, because we had enough songs to do at least, a couple of 7 inches, starting off, and that's exactly what we should have done. We should have done a 7-inch at the very first song. And then maybe then a few compilations, like how bands are doing it and stuff. We were just too young; we didn't know the difference. So that's what our plan was. When we go in the studio, we find out, oh, this whole reel of tape is ours. There's so many hours on this tape, and we had a bunch of new songs too. And Joe starts going, let's just do the new songs. Forget the old ones. Let's just do the new ones. So we did the new ones, and we played them until we ran out of tape. That's why we had to cut Party Bar Party in half, because we ran out of tape. And then Jeff Newton, the record label, Zorlac, he's like, well, how much money are we up to? And we were up into the thousands. He's like, oh, that's it. No more. So we didn't get to mix, we only started to mix a few songs, so nothing really got mixed. Anything, it was just like all thrown on the track, went straight to pressing. And that's like, we wasted all that time doing 13 songs, and we could have just been concentrated on 4, and probably done it in less money. But we did all 13 songs, and it took hours and not in days. So we didn't know what we were doing.
So what was the, I think BARKHARD was the only thing that was out on Zorlac Records, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, I think Jeff Newton quit the fucking music business after that record.
So what was, obviously you guys were friends and everything, so I guess that's how that, he's like, hey, you guys got a band, let's try this record label thing, or?
Yeah, we're skating for Zorlac, we're traveling everywhere, you got to understand how music was at this time. It was hot. I mean, the Big Boys and the Dicks, Butthole Surfers, DRI, MDC, Really Red. I mean, Texas was on fire in the music scene. And it was just growing, getting bigger and bigger. And so, that's what people did. They go watch skateboard in the daytime, go to gigs at night, see bands at night. So we wanted to play.
Yeah, I came across this flyer for the album on Zorlac.
Oh yeah, that's the one cool. That the guy Zorlac made that for the record when it came out. We didn't do that one. Usually we did all of our own flyers.
Yeah, that
those.
No, I don't think I came across any of those.
I got some around here somewhere.
You have some.
Yeah. They're buried in the closet. Plus, I sold most of them, but I still saved a few.
Yeah. Now, you guys actually played a handful of shows back then with some. You got to play with a bunch of cool shows. If I could just pull this damn photo up. You guys played with like Offenders. DRI.
Played with the Descendants twice when they came through town.
Descendants, yeah, that's the one.
They played at what was Power Tools, but called something else before Power Tools.
Yeah, Cafe Mode.
Yeah, or Cadillac, Catahoulac. Is that the party at?
Yeah, Party Owls, Descendants, Party Owls, BARKHARD.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny if you go to, I think, is that at Cabaret Voltaire?
Well, it says Cafe Mode.
Cafe Mode, yeah, okay, that's Cafe Mode. The one where we played with them at Cabaret Voltaire, if you go to the Descendants website and you're like looking at their old tour pictures, they have them all posted up. You see one of Milo sitting there singing, and right below him is Todd and John Hancock from the band. Just
nice.
Looking, I know, it's funny. It's hilarious.
Cafe Mode. Where was that place around a while, or was it just one of those things that just kind of?
It was just around for a while, not long at all. It was just kind of a place that had gigs, man. We needed more places to play. So many bands were coming through town then.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the Power Tools, legendary, and they did big shows too when they counted, but then there's the underground dance scene going on, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Power Tools. I think I have one. Oh no, maybe not. This is the other one I had, but it was also at the Cafe Mode. You guys play with GBH?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What? Any memories? Any memories of this show?
No, I can't remember. I wonder if they even came to town. I guess they did. You know, I ran into someone that their uncle played in GBH. I don't know if I believe him or not, but it was kind of like a Houston connection somehow.
USMC.
Who
was USMC? I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, Uncle Sam's Misguided Children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a neighbor of Todd Prince. He started him a band. That's what he called it.
Wow. Did they record anything?
Yeah, we always tease him. Goes, man, that stands for "You Suck My Cock," man.
It's always cool looking at like old flyers where you see that one band that they may have played like one or two shows, and it's like, I want to know more about this fucking band, you know?
Yeah. He just started the band because, you know, we were doing BARKHARD, and then our other friend Lee were doing Contortion Session. You know, So Kenny wanted to start his own band, so he started, you know, the whole neighborhood. There was like 4 bands in the neighborhood.
Pasadena hardcore.
Yeah, I know.
Any memories of this one?
DRI.
DRI Offenders?
Is that at the island?
This is at Cabaret Voltaire.
Oh, Cabaret?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it now. I'm sure, I don't know if I was there, I might have been out of town, but the Offenders came through a lot. I saw them a lot at the island. They came through the island a lot. And it's just awesome, man. That's great. You got the flyer. Is that your personal, or you find it on the web?
No. I found this online. I have a friend that has like a ton of like old Houston flyers, and I got this from him.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, so this was Cabaret Voltaire, I guess, before it turned into the Axiom, because it's, I mean, that's one of those addresses I'll never forget. 2524 McKinney.
Yeah.
Live Oak, McKinney and Live Oak. So what were some of your favorite venues to go to shows? Like, you know, when you used to go see shows, the Island, and was there any other ones?
The Island, you know, like I said, we were too young to get in, and we try to sneak in, and the owner or the so-called bouncer or whatever, when we would get caught, they knew who we were, because we were there all the time, skating around out front, you know, and then they're like, oh, no, not this time, get out, you got to pay. We're like, and get old enough. And then, you know, sometimes they would take us to go pass out flyers for the gigs. We'd go to Cardi's and all that shit, flyers, and then he would let us sneak in the side for shows. Like, he let me sneak in to go see 999 when they played there.
Nice.
Chill. I know, it was nice. They were one of my favorites. Good. I got turned on to them in California.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. So yeah, when you were in California, you probably, I mean, it's a whole fucking new, different world for a 13, 14-year-old.
Man, you know, I was watching one of those old videos of Marina Del Rey, the Gold Cup in 1980, It's like a buzzcock fucking blasting in the fucking background. Super loud. No, I just happen to be wearing the shirt.
You happen to be wearing the shirt. Here's something I came across too. I think the shut up and skate things became pretty famous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what stood out on this one, it says James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett of Metallica were supposed to be there. Was that just something that was put on the flyer to get people there?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they were in town. But yeah, that's when Metallica was doing the big thing, going to be with Zorlac. Zorlac was going to continue making the boards and everything.
Yeah. Well, ironically, that's kind of what ended Zorlac, right? Metallica.
Well, kinda. That's kind of what I think. It's what I think is that Lars said, first we had the deal, or Jeff Newton had a deal with Hetfield and Hammett, because he loved, those two loved the artwork, Punch Head. They loved it, man. They loved the skate shop. They liked it, they loved us as skaters. They were huge fans. And so they're like all about getting a Metallica board made and everything. And Newton's like, we'll do it, because Metallica was just blowing up right then.
Yeah.
It was really big. And so Newton makes the boards and everything, giving them $1 a board, just like they give us, And then towards when Newton had bought a bunch, stocked up, to sell the boards and sell the T-shirts. And fucking Lars just comes in and goes, wait a minute, you got to give us $5 a board, because there's, us in the band, 4 of us in the band, whatever, $5 he wanted, and you can't sell any merchandise. No Metallica merchandise.
Wow.
You can make a Metallica board, but you can't sell any T-shirts. That falls under Metallica domain or whatever. And that just kind of crushed it. Dude had spent so much money on inventory.
Yeah.
And then trying to get the boards made, trying to shuffle around. I don't know. It's just another nail in the coffin. And another thing what killed Zorlac is that Zorlac got so big, so fast. We were going to be a contender up there with all the, the big five, all themselves, GNS and Santa Cruz and all those other ones.
Yeah.
And there was only a couple board companies back then that would make the wood, so they could only make so much in a month. And GNS is first, Santa Cruz, and then they'd fill all their orders. It'd be towards the end of the month, and make maybe 100 for Zorlac. Then it starts back over, in the month again. Just couldn't get the wood, The orders were there, the money was there, but the wood, you couldn't get it. We always changing, looking for wood companies, going to furniture companies, trying to get it. That's why there's so many different kind of woods as Zorlac went on. My board was made by 5 different companies, 5 different types of wood. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's Kirk actually holding your board. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a.
They got a few pictures like that. I saw that one, and remember Rip magazine?
Yeah.
Metal magazine that had skateboarding in it and stuff.
Yeah.
He had a full page one holding it. I always liked that photo. It's good.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Oh, here's So, all right. So let's, I guess, get back into this whole Zorlac. You mentioned how it was blowing up, and I know for a fact because I grew up in a small town, and even down here, I know I'm in Texas, and Zorlac's out of Texas, but even down here, Zorlac made its way down into the small towns. Like, people were starting to skate, and I just clearly remember like Zorlac T-shirts and just fucking everywhere. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. And do what?
It was like a culture, man. It was like in the Midwest and parts of the East Coast.
Yeah.
And the Northwest, man, Seattle and Oregon, they were all hot spots for Zorlac. They got the shirts and the boards.
Zorlac is who you got your first like board through, right?
Well, yes. first one because I was having my model about to come out on Castor.
Oh.
Bill Castor got sick with cancer and skating died, and Bill had to push skateboarding off to the side to keep his surf company going, his surfboard company. And then he got too sick, he couldn't keep the company going, and he passed away. And so I didn't really want to ride for anybody else, I wasn't going to jump, okay, Castor, maybe I'll go ride for GNS or Sims or whatever. It's like, well, I've done it. That was good. I skated all those places, got to hang out with everybody. And then Newton's like, come on, get back on Zorlac. I want to make your board. Because he was going to make Phillips's board. But Phillips quit Zorlac and went to GNS at that time. So it's kind of moved people moving around. And so I got on Zorlac. We made that board, the pre-push head graphics, and you know what those look like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Would it be this one? This is early on.
Yeah, that's it. That's my first pro board.
Yeah.
Right there. That's the one I got, and I gave that one to my mom. I signed it, gave it to her.
Yeah.
And not long after that, push head graphics came out, and we were just like, yeah. And so Newton threw them on there, and those boards were kind of pushed to the side. We kind of forgot about that. At least my mom did, for not until about 2018, 2019. It just went through her storage facility, getting the old crap, trying to clean it out. And that board was sitting in the corner, man. Couldn't believe it, man. After all those years, since 1983, it'd been sitting in there.
I was just gonna ask who designed that board, but I just found out. Jeff Newton designed it.
Yeah, the graphic. It was some kind of clip art. Because he asked me what I wanted, and I said anything with the cow skull. Because they call me. But, so I thought that was kind of appropriate. So and then he comes up with that, and it looked all Black Sabbath and shit.
Yeah, it looks evil. It looks evil as shit to me.
Oh yeah, it was banned, man. There was skate shops in Pasadena that wouldn't have it, that wouldn't sell it.
Wow.
And also this one guy. You remember? Have you ever seen the ones? But they had the push head graphics on them.
Yeah.
Black one with the orange paint. It looked like that. This kid got one, and his parents made him throw it in the Goodwill. And I know the guy that bought it at Goodwill for $5, man.
What? Wow.
Yeah, and it was brand new. The black ones, those were like the best looking ones. The black with the orange. It looked like flames on it.
Yeah.
The orange color. I don't know. I always liked that story, man. The guy bought it at Goodwill for $5.
Oh, that's cool.
The backstory is some kid had to throw it out because it's too evil.
No, that graphic rules. I mean, I know
Jeff never liked it. I always wanted to bring it back or do a next thing on it, and he's like, he never liked it. He didn't want to.
Yeah, that's
so. I didn't the second graphics with push head either.
So what was that like? I'm sorry. What was that like? What was that like when your first board with your name on it? I mean, had to be pretty fucking cool. I imagine. Yeah,
it was way cool. It was very cool. In that shape that it was. See, I'm just coming off Castor. I was riding in the Inaway. I was riding IPS boards, and those had the little wingers in it. The little cuts, and that shit right there is like Chris Stropel's. And Stropel always wanted me to ride his board, right? And I wanted to ride it too. It was just too big, and I couldn't really do ollies. But when I rode the Inaway board, I could do ollies really good on them. So I kept riding that, and I was going to want my first board to kind of be like that. But it was like done in a hurry. Newton just threw that out there. It was like a big pig. And then it was more like Stropel's board. Here I am, not riding for Castor, but I got it like a Stropel board. Pretty cool, pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why the next shape I did was more kind of a takeoff of IPS, but I went full extreme, extreme cuts, shit.
Yeah. So what was your? Well, I guess was that? Oh, here's something else that I got a kick out of. Still sticking with Zorlac. This ad.
Right. Payphone, got to call home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, send money, Mom. Yeah, I like how I said, just say it's collect.
Yeah, that's Grant took that picture, and Transworld had just started. It was like the first or second issue, I think, and they drew Zorlac a free ad. You know, here you go. Because they thought the picture was so funny, so they just put Zorlac on there.
Yeah, that's great, man. I was like, oh shit, I gotta ask him about that one. It's like what was those fucking 976 numbers or whatever kind of thing. Party line, like 5 cents the first minute and like fucking $30 each additional minute or whatever. That's how they would get everybody. Not that
I got my finger in my ear because they're like blasting Joe Jackson, like it looks sharp or something super loud, or Mike Sharona.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. I found that one.
Yeah, that's funny one.
Pretty damn cool. All right, so we have to talk about this pretty infamous photo in the skate world.
Yeah.
Take us back to this day.
Yeah, that was a cold day, I think what was it, like January. I don't know why we went up there in the winter. It was cold as shit. Man, it was really fucking freezing. And you got to sneak in that place, you know, at dawn so nobody can see you, the cops don't see you. And if you look in the very background, like those high walls, the spillway goes down. You know, the sun's coming in. That spillway like drops down like, you know, 200 feet straight down. And that wall's got to be, I don't know, 15. You can't really jump and grab the top of it. So, but you got to scale that wall, jump down on the steep spillway, and then with all your gear and go back up. And it's dark. It's like sun's just barely peeking up. It's cold as shit. That's why I was wearing that and stuff, because I had to start doing fakies to warm up. It was fucking cold, man. We were so cold. And that's when I snapped the picture.
How long were you guys there doing that?
We probably skated to about 5. You know, went in at dawn, tried to sleep until for the sun to come up. It didn't really happen, and then we stayed till about 5, 6 o'clock, and then we snuck back out. We went down that spillway all the way till we can kind of, right when it's about to touch the water, and we had to get ropes and throw over there and climb up there. And we were so tired of skating all day. That thing was just, it's no flat bottom, just back and forth, man. We were drained. You know what? We didn't get busted on that trip.
Good thing.
Kevin took that picture, man. We went in, you know, stealth. We went in, came out. It was a successful mission.
Yeah. Do you remember? Was this snapshot number 1, 2, 300? Do you remember which one he ended up using?
No, he said it was spur of the moment, man. Because we're like literally we're trying to sleep because it's totally pitch black in there.
Yeah.
And the sun's creeping up, and so we start faking, you know, just not doing nothing, no kick turns, just to get the body, your heat going, you know. And then the sun started creeping up, and then you start getting stoked because you're like, God, it's so smooth, so perfect, things perfect. And you start going for it, you know. You start pushing it, going up there, and he just pulled his camera out, snapped it.
Hell yeah. Now I know you said you gave a lot of your stuff away. Do you still have an issue of this magazine?
I think I do.
Oh, that's cool.
I know I got copies of them. Of it.
Yeah.
But the original ones, I don't know. People offer so much money for it, man. And mine, they
I
were
bet.
all the books getting torn up. I was like, well, here, take it. They were going to frame it and everything, keep it. They'll probably keep it forever. Knowing me, some cat's going to pee on it or something over here. Let it go. I'm letting everything go, man. You know, but then you feel guilty later on, but No, I think it's the right thing, man. Because there's people that were born after Zorlac that want Zorlac stuff so bad.
Yeah.
You know, that's what. Let them go drool over it for a couple decades.
Well, yeah.
And pass it on.
Yeah, it's the same thing with music. People are buying like LP. Like I've been selling a lot of my LPs or whatever to younger people that didn't have them, and it's just like it's cool that people still will still want to listen to them, and it's same thing with you. It's cool that people are it's still interested or want to know about the history and whatnot. So I guess that's got to feel pretty cool though that people are still wanting to know about John Gibson and everybody else that was around back then.
Yeah, if I'd have known about the internet, man, I would have stuffed my closet full of all that stuff. It was just not back then, if I'd known
well, yeah, like I said earlier, you don't think 30 years ahead,
Yeah, and when we were skating back then, in our prime, skating, nobody gave a shit about skateboarding, people out, it was just skateboarders cared about it,
Yeah.
No people out there weren't that many fans, but.
I mean, even here in my small town, you would get ticketed for skating in certain parts of town, You would get a ticket.
I almost went to jail skating Easy 7 in the early days. Cops used to
Really?
put them big time. Yeah. It was illegal to skate there.
Yeah, it's weird how like I said, even when I
City Park now.
Yeah, exactly. There's skate parks everywhere and whatnot. So it's kind of weird. Just like that graphic, it still looks evil now, but in like whenever that came out, it was super evil. But nowadays people look at it, everybody's so desensitized or whatever, with everything being available.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you ever see that Love Letters to Skateboarding that Jeff Grosso does on YouTube? You probably watched those, huh? They came out in 2014, 15. You should go watch them. They did one on skateboard graphics. And they talked to Sean Cliver and all that. He thinks that my board with those graphics is the epitome of 80s skating.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's fucking awesome.
And he's a big time artist for. He did all those boards and made a ton of money and stuff. Wrote those books, Disposable and stuff.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because graphics were huge. So when did I mean, since you've been around since the beginning, when did the graphics thing become like a big part of skate decks?
Well, I guess it was when it was transforming from the 70s. I mean, the 70s graphics were, I don't know. I always thought when I was going to be riding for Caster, I was going to have my initials, like JG.
Yeah.
Kind of like a signature in Caster, and that's it, Try to make the lettering look kind of cool. Not like pieces of art, like it's turned into today, which is really, really cool. I really like that, man. It's awesome. It's like, like Putt said, I knew him when I rode for Caster. I was out there skating at Del Mar. I think he was down from the Northwest working at Del Mar for the summer. And we kind of started skating and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And then when Caster, I went back home. I guess he went back home. But we got to be friends all summer long. We were having sessions together. And then went back home. Caster went under. Newton made that board with the Black Sabbath graphic, and I saw the board in Thrasher, ran it out in there. And so he did his rendition of it, and sent it to Newton. Goes, here, what do you think of this? Because he knew me already, and Newton was like blown away. And then he's like, he called me out and goes, wait till you see this, because I was, he's in Dallas, I'm in Houston.
Yeah.
And then he printed the book, put them on the boards, printed them, before I even saw them. And then I saw him, I was like, whoa, man, my mom can't see this,
Well, so was Pusshead, was he a decent skater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I know, you know, I know.
He's grinding the pool, the Kona pool, like at Del Mar, they got different pools. You know, the pool is the one everybody, the easy one kind of. He's grinding the Kona pool, and it's all feet and gnarly, big coping and stuff. He's good, man. You've seen those pictures of him skating and stuff. I don't know if there's any video.
Yeah, but pictures, you know.
Video, kind of.
Yeah. So speaking of like ramps and stuff, was there ever any ramp that like you're like fuck this, or you just tried whatever it was, whatever was in front of you, you went after it?
Oh yeah, I rode the worst ramps ever built. I know I've skated the most crappiest ones, but that's what it is, man. You got to adapt. Boom, and skated. I skated that fucking ramp that we pulled all around Texas, man. That Pepsi ramp, but it's called a zorlac ramp with no flat bottom, shook all to hell. I don't know. You might have a picture of that one. I'm not sure.
Actually, I have a quick video of you on the clown ramp.
Oh yeah, well that's not it. But the other one's on trailer. But that's so cool. That's cool.
I don't think I have the.
Yeah, it's a plexiglass ramp, and it's no flat bottom, no rollouts, no coping.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have one of that. But yeah, let's for those that haven't seen these videos, you can get these off of YouTube. All you gotta do is search John Gibson skating or whatever, and you'll see some of these videos. Let's check out this quick short clip. So what are your thoughts when you look back at that was from '84 at Del Mar?
Yeah, was that '84 or '83? I think they had one in '83 too.
Well, the video said '84.
Yeah, it's probably '84. Probably right. Yeah, because I think there was one even before that, between the '70s, like when we skated there in the '80s, and then I think they had one in '82, and that was the only contest in Southern California. They only had one contest. That's when we knew everything was doomed. You know, and I was out there with Casser, and I don't think I put my tennis shoes on all summer to the very end to go skate that contest. And I was way out of practice. And I've been surfing. I could learn how to surf and wearing flip-flops, man, living on the beach. It was killer.
Like a beach bum.
Yeah, it totally was, man.
I
remember putting on tennis shoes going to skate at that contest. I was like, man, this is weird. Putting on shoes. Yeah, everything changed after that.
So now, I guess, what's your involvement with Embassy these days?
Yeah, that's Embassy. That's just a thing that, you know, Lee's an old friend. We haven't known Lee forever, man. I went to first grade with his brother. Me and his brother, younger brother, are the same age. And we've known each other forever. And like in 2008 and stuff, when Newton was trying to reissue Zorlac, like he thought he was getting the company back. And we were all excited too, you know, he was going to get it back. He started making the boards again and everything. And then that all fell apart. He couldn't get it back. The guys in California still own it, and they're not doing anything with it. So it kind of really bummed him out. And then we were talking so Lee was having a really good business, you know, putting roofs on and doing that roofing business.
Yeah.
It was really successful, and he's like, man, I want to open a skate shop. Let's open up a skate shop. And then we're thinking about it, and like, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, man, I should fucking do a board company. Look what they're doing with boards now, you know. Everyone, you can just buy the board already painted and everything, you know, just send them the design you want, which everything was pretty much popsicle sticks, but we wanted to bring the feeling back, you know, the old school, put some design into it. So we did that with some artists, and we were like, we're going to make art, you know, and you can skate it and brash the art, and that's it, man. And it's been going to what, 13, 14 years now, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every time. You know, and now, as what I wanted to talk to you, we got the Embassy Outpost, you know, it's like an art gallery, skate shop on top of a venue where bands play and stuff. They have heavy metal skin and stuff. It's called The End. And then it's Embassy Outpost. It's upstairs. It's like the VIP room to watch bands down there.
Where's this?
Yeah, that's it right there. We're going to have art around there. And like the artists can come show their art for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, yeah, we're going to try to bring the culture, you know, keep the culture going. You know, music, skate, art.
Where's this at in town? Where's the location?
We'll book all your bands that you play on there. We can do that.
Yeah. But where's this located?
It's on I don't know if I have the exact address. It's like 7126 Lawndale.
Oh, Lawndale, okay.
Yeah, it's on the east side. It's in the old hood. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. Yeah, that looks like a cool spot.
Yeah, you know, a lot of places, venues are popping up around there, and cool bars and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's all moving out that way from the Montrose, and everyone's getting priced out.
Yeah, I was at a venue called I don't remember. It was on Harrisburg, I think, and kind of right around that area, and it's a pretty cool little spot. There's a couple other new ones.
There's the Satellite. It's there. And Black Magic, and
that Black Mass place.
Yeah, Black Magic's like, you know, they got a really cool stage, presentable. There'll be bands playing there. So we're gonna make it back, try to make it like it was in the Montrose back in the 80s and 90s. You know, you had emo.
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
You had Blue Iguana, you had Instant Karma. You know, all these places where bands they could just tour around there. So that's what it looks like it's going to be ending up over there, and that's what we're shooting for. You know, Lee's putting in a lot of hard work, you know, fixing it up. And it's still not officially open. The upstairs part with the skateboard, the Embassy Outpost, probably not going to be opening until July. And the venue, they're booking bands and stuff, but they don't have the liquor license yet, so it's like BYOBs. They're still open, bands can play, but it's not really official. But booking shows, they've been packed, man. People been coming out. They have thrash metal weekends and stuff. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I need to talk to my buddies. We have a hardcore band that I think it'd be cool to play there.
Yeah, you know, I want to start, you know, booking bands in there and stuff.
I'll definitely hit you up whenever it comes down to us, like getting back together, because we haven't done anything in a while. So I think it'd be cool.
Well, you know, I was watching some of your older shows. I see those bands on there. Are they like locals? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of local bands that I know, and but hell, I want to play there. All right. The Pepsi ramp was at Bachman Lake. Is that right? The Pepsi ramp? Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are these people writing questions there?
Yeah. People are in the chat. Yeah, you can. There's been people in the chat like just commenting and stuff and leaving comments. I don't know if you could see them or not, but yeah.
Was the one at Bachman Lake? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
We was there for a while. You know where it is now? I think it's over in where they do King's Fest. It's in the barn over there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. King's Fest is.
Now, are any of your everything with your name and everything still available through Embassy, right? Like boards.
I said graphics or zorlac board. It's all Embassy and you know, and we got Shane Muntz doing graphics for us, so it's his rendition of everything, and it's really awesome stuff.
Yeah, here's one. This looks cool. I don't know how old this is, but this is a cool fucking design.
That's the OG series that we were coming up with. We were taking all the old skaters on there like Craig and Todd, taking their 80s and 90s graphics and redoing them, putting them on the old school shape.
Yeah, that looks cool. So I guess I'll leave in the description. I'll leave like links to Embassy and where people can look at all this stuff. And if anybody wants to get anything, I'll put the links in the description and all that after we get done here. We'll be wrapping it up here shortly. Just that way, if anybody is interested and wondering where to go and find stuff, I'll lead you in the right direction.
The outpost, the Embassy outpost, it'll be, it's open. It's just not quite finished yet. But yeah, you can come check out everything we have in stock.
Oh yeah.
You have to find that. I think the address is when you look up Embassy Skateboards.
I'll definitely put it up and all that. Eric, I don't know if Eric's talking about Jeff or he's talking about you, but my buddy Eric, he's an artist also, and he'd be psyched to make a design for one of you guys. So he's done stuff. Yeah, he's done stuff for Mike Haga and other bands, and really, really good artist actually. So Eric, if you're talking about John or whatever, I don't know,
I want to see what he did design for it.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I'll get with you, Eric, after later on or whatever, and we'll see what exactly you're talking about.
That's kind of like the decks what I'm collecting now, or like tribute boards, or like people like Montana Pool Service. They made a board with kind of my graphics on it. Jeff and Pearl Jam. He's involved with them. And, the guest deck that Gons did, Crooked did. See, I like to keep those boards. I kind of hold on to those. Those mean more to me than my personal ones.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I bet. So, but yeah. Speaking of, since somebody brought up BARKHARD, the LP was just reissued through Beer City. So if anybody, I'll put the links to the Beer City, like direct link to get the album. Get the fucking album. If you've never heard this album, and you need to fucking get it. It rules. I got an older version, but this was recently reissued.
It definitely sounds better. I've been listening to it now because people posted it on YouTube, and I got YouTube music. The audio's better. Regular YouTube. Yeah, they definitely helped us, man.
Yeah. So if any get that fucking album because it fucking rules. If you like fast fucking hardcore punk shit.
Mike Beer and this guy said they did at Beer City. They did a really bang up job putting that out, and the MDC and the Offenders, 2 Offenders records, man. The whole pack of deals. Really nice, man. They did a really good job.
My buddy Brad asked, did the guys from the Boneless Ones have something to do with you guys? Well, I can't hear shit. Why can't I hear anything now? Ah, fuck. I think we lost audio again. Why can't I hear anything? Hello. Hello. Why can't I hear anything? Oh, yeah. I can't hear shit. What the fuck's going on? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Because I can't hear myself coming through here. Anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Let me know if you can hear anything. I don't know why I just lost sound. Oh, it's John. What about me, Brad? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, he probably, I don't know what happened again. There it is. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, I heard him. So anyway, while he comes back, yeah, get that fucking BARKHARD from Beer City. I'll put the links. And you need to get it. It's available on LP. It's a badass album. Badass album. So while he's coming back, oh, I got to ask him about this. We'll be if anybody has any burning questions. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear audio now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Turned my microphone off and switched it to whatever the other choice is. I just switched it back to my iPhone mic.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna start winding it down now. Anybody has any questions that we haven't, anything we haven't covered, please ask it now. But I do want to ask you about this photo. Fucking Dusty Hill at Mary Jane's. Is that right? What was going on here?
Yeah. Well,
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And so ZZ Top had been on tour in Europe or whatever. They were releasing a European EP, and they needed some crowd noise. They needed more because I guess the crowd wasn't that good over there or something. So they came to Mary Jane's. They opened up the whole bar, and they packed it in with everybody, and everything was free. Free beer, wine, all night long. And they were going to play a show. And so they came in, they put microphones all around, and every once in a while, one of the tour managers would come out and get the crowd all pumped up, like they were coming out. And then another 30 minutes go by, 40 minutes, they never come out, and he kept doing that all the way up to about 1 a.m. Then they finally came out. Everybody was drunk by then. Everything was free. And they came out and played about 4 songs and left. But they had all the cars, the Eliminator.
No shit, cool. Out in front of Mary Jane's?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. They did that, but God, it took so long to come out. But that was the deal, They recorded the crowd, and then they're going to, mix that in onto the European release.
Wow. That's fucking awesome, man.
I know, I know that picture just popped up. I remember it when it happened, but I hadn't seen it in a long time till not that long ago. Till when it passed away, it resurfaced.
Yeah, rest in peace, Dusty.
Yeah.
But man, I've been in Mary Jane's, and that place is about as big as the room I'm in now. So that's awesome.
A lot of good bands played gone through there.
Yeah. I think I played there myself, and it was a cool little spot. But yeah, imagine fucking.
Toby's an old friend of mine, man. I worked there when Horseshoe played every Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just a little part-time gig. Help Toby out. We used to practice there. That's why he opened it up. So, because I was in a band with him. We would just jam. We need a place to jam.
Yeah, it's a good place to practice. Well, awesome, man. All right. My buddy Brad had one question, and we'll end it there. But he was, I think he had asked how you and Craig Johnson met. Where was it? Oh, when did you first meet and start skating with Craig Johnson?
Well, the first time we met, you gotta remember back in the day with all the different skate parks in town. Like we were the Gulf Coast skate park team. And then there was the Texas Pipeline team, Skateboard City team. And then in Dallas, you had the Free Flight team, which Craig was on. And then you had the Wizard team, which Jeff Phillips was on. And then I think some other park there. And so there would be contests, like say in Killeen, and we all those teams would go to Killeen, and all the teams from Dallas, all the teams from Austin, and we'd all meet somewhere. And you know, we didn't really know each other, but after a few contests like that, we started, you know, talking, I guess, instead of vibing, you know, like that, and then we just became friends, man. We must have been 12 years old back then, 12, 13. Wow. And then when I got on Zorlac, you know, I was already, you know, buddies with him and everything, but I was on Caster. I was doing my own thing, going out there. And when I got on Zorlac, you know, that was it. It was me and Craig, Zorlac. We were the pros, and we traveled all over the world together. And, you know, became best of friends. Still are today, you know. I just got back from Dallas at Mike Crumb's 4 Down thing. I was hanging out with him there. He's doing really good. Yeah.
Did you ever see Septic Death play live since you were hanging out with Pusshead?
No. You know, I never saw Septic Death. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. And, you know, I didn't really, when the Zorlac thing was falling apart, I haven't really ever talked to Pusshead again. You know, I feel bad because I don't know. I guess him and Jeff had a kind of a falling out, and Pusshead had a falling out with the people who bought Zorlac, and I think Pusshead's kind of got a sour taste on skateboarding. But I don't really know. We haven't really talked. You know, I kind of feel like I don't know what he thinks about my graphics being out there, or you know, Jeff trying to make them again back in the mid-2000s. So I don't know. You know, he's gone off to become super famous and everything. So I don't know if he even knows about Embassy or anything. I'd like to talk to him, you know, because it's about to come up 40 years for that graphic. I'd like to, you know, like I was saying earlier, I never got a second one. Like Craig, I think, had 3 Pusshead graphics. I just had that one. I'd like to get a second one for the 40-year anniversary. Just, you know, limited edition. It's pretty cool.
Well, I don't even know if his like old bandmates talk to him anymore, but I can ask Paul, the old drummer, if he has any contact or whatever for him. For Pusshead.
I know some people who got some contacts, but they don't give it to me. They won't
Well, that's bullshit. Yeah, that needs to happen. It needs to fucking happen.
They want a Pusshead graphic, you know. They want to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, BARKHARD, are you guys gonna, since the reissue, you guys gonna play a show or anything?
I don't know. It looks like we might have to.
Hell yeah! At the Embassy place, at the Embassy fucking outpost or whatever.
That's what it's looking like. It looks like we're leaning that way. You know,
I
don't know really what to do. You know, the drummer and the bass player are kind of incognito, and plus we're so old now and everything. So maybe me and Todd, you know, we'll just get some, I don't know, some young skater kids that can pound out the songs by me and Todd. I just drum some chords and push Todd around if I'm stage. We do something like that, you know.
I know a couple people.
Yeah. Well, cool. Maybe we'll do that. We'll just have a revolving door on the band, Bar Chord and Grinders or something.
Yeah, like fucking like all those old artists that would like travel town to town, but like would have their own band, like a different band. Yeah. No, hell yeah.
I played one of El Bez's pickup bands.
Yeah, I'll learn. People are starting. The questions are starting to roll in now. What's your funniest Todd Prince story?
Oh, geez, man, where do you begin? Now you got me on the spot. They're all funny. All you gotta do is hang out with him and just laughing the whole time. Super funny. Pee in his pants constantly. I don't know. Pee pants. So, and let's see what else. Getting his teeth knocked out, not even knowing. That's pretty funny, but that's kind of sad too.
Oh shit, that's cool, man. But yeah, I mean, BARKHARD needs a drummer and a bassist or whatever. Then
we got Lee playing bass. You know, Lee can play bass.
Oh yeah.
He's so busy and everything, and we're busy as shit too. But
Yeah.
you know, I could just play with some people. Our business is still going on, and then, like you say, pickup bands. That might be the thing. We could have the old man pickup band, young kids, the metal one. You know, the punk.
Yeah.
That would be cool. We'll do that.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Yeah.
We got some songs that were never recorded. Just got to relearn them.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see it. Just fucking, just for the fuck of it, you know.
Yeah, just for grin.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun.
Oh yeah. And shit, you know those other bands, Cab's new band and all that. They're all playing cruise lines and stuff. You know. They're doing the ball. Funny, it's unbelievable.
All right. So before I let you go, when was the last time you got on a board? Do you still get on a board?
Well, you know, I get on a board, I'll roll around. I just don't get my ass over my head anymore, you know. Cause
Yeah.
just a little too old. But, you know, it's always rolling around. Even rolling around, man, I fucking bust my hip sometimes. But, you know, you can't get away from it. It's there.
Kick flipping all over Houston.
Man, I wish that I could skate like I used to, but there's no way. You got to accept it. Because I know once I get on board, you start getting cocky. Oh, I can do this, do that. And next thing you know, you're in the back of the ambulance.
Yeah, well, your mind's always like 15 years old, right? But your body's
Exactly.
telling you otherwise.
Yeah.
All right. So this is definitely the very last thing. It's something cool I didn't know anything about, but apparently your dad was a music producer. Is that right?
Oh yeah, in his later years, yeah, he started finding musicians around Pasadena and Houston, and he would get them together and get them a song from Huey Moe. He was friends with Huey Moe at Sugar Hill, and he would bring them into the studio, and they would cut some wax, and he was starting to do that. You know, that's what the love of his life. That's who Gibson's International, what is it, Production.
International Productions.
You should use that logo, man. That's pretty cool.
That logo rules, man.
Yeah, so he started cutting wax with all these people, you know, trying to get, you know, cut that hit. You know, then he passed away, and then Huey Moe went off and did his thing, and it was weird because, you know, we always wondered, because I remember when he had got those records, he would bring them to us, me and my brothers. He's like, if y'all can play country like this, I can make you rich. Come on. You know, we're doing Judas Priest covers and shit. We're like, oh, forget that. You know, and then I always wondered what happened to those records. And I found, first someone found me on Facebook. He goes, look, my mom's got one. Look what I found my mom's got. And
wow.
To that. And then I looked on Discord. Sure enough, there they were there, and I ordered a couple on there.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's fucking awesome.
I know.
Here, actually, this is a good idea. Use that logo for an embassy shirt. The guy dragging the horse.
Yeah. He's a good Craig Johnson graphic too. So
all right.
Yeah,
Well,
make a T-shirt at least.
That'd be cool. I'd wear it.
All right.
That's a cool ass. Yeah, that's a funny ass logo. It's all right. Well, man, I want to thank you again for doing this. It was cool having on you. Learning about the old Houston punk scene and the early skate days, and
the story doesn't get to get told really, and I don't know if I'm telling it that good, but if we keep doing stuff like this, maybe it'll eventually seep in, I guess. People.
Well, somebody can do somebody needs to do there's documentaries about everything,
I know. That would be cool, man, That'd
be real cool. I mean, somebody get the ball rolling on getting Texas fucking skating.
Yeah, do a book and it could be call it "Fuck you, we're from Texas." You know.
Oh shit! But yeah, that's not a bad idea. There's fucking documentaries on everything, so
Yeah, I know. So why not?
yeah, why not that? It should be done. Actually, it's something that should be done.
I know it does need to be done. You know, I heard Eric from Emos, who owned Emos.
Yeah.
I heard he's doing a book about those days, Emos in Houston and Emos
on. Oh, JR from the Axiom's doing a book too, I think.
Oh, is he? You know, I saw him at the Tim Kerr show last week.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be doing that. I talked to him, man, it's been a while now, but yeah, he said still has, like, he never threw anything away. He's got everything left, you know, from.
Well, yeah. He seems like a hoarder, probably. Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he does.
All right. Well, oh shit! I gotta ask my buddy Brad. He's like, he was big time skater. Had your posters on his wall when he was a kid and everything. So he asked, "What trick are you most proud of?"
The trick I'm most proud of?
Yeah.
Probably the caster disaster. The fakey ollie hang up, you know, like that video you showed.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing it, but I was doing it years before that too. When I rode for Castor, and I called it the Caster disaster. And now it's pretty much everyone does disasters. You know, the lip slides, you know, and pull no hand and pulling the truck over. You know, it's like a staple trick these days. You know, I just like to, and it's good to see people out there that give me recognition for it. You know, and plus I did the Bone Dread and the Texas plant apart. We divide that, who invented that one, because that was a trick that we all did around the same time. Craig, me, Dan Willis, everyone was, it was just, and only in Texas was it ever done. You know, and when we went to California, we were doing it, and everybody's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? It took Grosso and then to revamp it, because Craig just kept on doing it. You know, I eventually kind of laid off of it because it felt weird. But that's the trick that I'm proud of, that it's got the name, you know, the Texas plant.
Texas plant, yeah.
Yeah, that's there. That's written in stone, you know. And Caster Disaster, kind of in there. And the Bone Dread, you know, well, Tony R. He talks about it, so I guess those three. I don't know. Which one? I don't know. The Frontside Grind. I didn't invent that one.
Well, like they said in the video, you made the shit better. You gave it style and everything.
Those three pretty much it. I can't think of any other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's it, Brad. If that answers your question.
Brad. Yeah, Brad's he's all the way in Chicago area. So.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
You go to Delilah?
To where?
To Delilah's?
Delilah's? Oh. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a pretty popular bar for musicians.
Oh, okay. Shit. Well, John, again, man, I want to thank you again for coming on here. It was cool. Like I said, I'll put all the links up. Remember, everybody, get that BARKHARD reissue now. Go check out Embassy Skate. Check out the website. I'll put all the links.
Yeah, I'm going to put some, we'll probably have some records up there too. But yeah, definitely order them because you can get thrown in. They're going to be having a contest where, I forget how he's going to do it. Something about if you get a BARKHARD record, some video, we're going to announce the winners and then you win a package deal, something like that.
Oh, cool.
He's going to kill me because I'm not saying it right. But order one and you'll find out.
Well, look at he Brad says Delilah rules, so he does know it.
That's cool.
All right, cool. Well, anything else you want to mention that as far as things we should go check out or?
Well, you know, go check out the Inn, Texas, with the Embassy Outpost there. I mean, it's a venue for bands. Like I see your other shows, you guys are all in bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Love music. You know, now we got a place to go play. We can all get together, and there, and we'll have embassy upstairs, and it'll be our little scene going on. So come check it out.
Yeah, I'll be once that gets going, I'll be talking a lot about that.
All right, cool.
About the end and the embassy thing. So awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna close this out, and I'll be in touch about playing and maybe even playing with BARKHARD at one point. So
maybe.
So
all right,
John, I appreciate it, man.
All right, take it easy, man.
Thanks, man. There you go, John fucking Gibson. And yeah, there we go. Cool. Just around 2 hours. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you watch this live, kick ass. If we're watching it on the replay, kick ass. Appreciate it. A lot of stuff on the channel you can check out. You might be into. Tell everybody about this show. You know, I know a lot of people that were into skating and all that. And I mean, I had boards. I was never really went far with it. It's just riding down the road or whatever. But you know, always enjoyed skate culture and all that. It was cool to have him on. You know, to share some of that, some of those stories that I think should be told, and I think a documentary on, you know, Texas skaters would be fucking awesome. So, you know, anybody has the means to do that should fucking do it. So, all right. Again, thanks everybody for the questions. Thanks for participating. You've watched Jamming Out All Badass. And I am out of this motherfucker.
Yeah,